Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Rolling with Dolan. Today's guest is Mr. PJ Middlehurst. PJ, he's a Muay Thai and kickboxing instructor who lives in Haydock, Merseyside. Today we're going to be talking about PJ's early life, education, profession, as well as modern martial arts training, striking arts for mixed martial arts and self-defense, and any and all training methods for martial arts that we want to talk about. So, please welcome my friend and yours, Mr. PJ Middlehurst. And we're live.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction.
No worries.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, mate. Your intro doesn't do you quite justice, but it's enough.
Thank you very much.
No worries, mate. I'm glad to have you on. So, not many people. Well, I'm going to say not many people other than me will know who you are that are in my sort of circle, PJ. So, tell us a bit about yourself, man. What's your story?
You've already mentioned I was born in Haydock. Haydock's like a small mining village in St Helens in Merseyside. It's a tough little village, if I'm honest. I was born there 82. So born there. So I've got two parents. I've got a sister. Grew up in a two-bed terrace. Mm-hmm. We had to convert one of the back bedrooms into a two-bedroom. So it was like a really two tiny box rooms.
Oh yeah.
And it's just it sounds bad, I'm not doing it any injustice when I say like the area is a low income area, but I think it kind of develops a certain type of person. I had two hard working parents, but it's a low income area, so there wasn't a lot to do, and lucky for me, probably about the age of 10, I was still in junior school, or by the age of 10 a local community centre started a kickboxing class under my coach Albert Vimpson.
Oh, okay.
And it was literally about 300 metres from my house, and I just happened to go down with two of my mates from school. Who was 10, was in junior school, and two of my mates were like, we're going to this kickboxing class, and initially I wasn't really interested in it. I was like, well, I'll come and try it, and I literally walked through the door day one. It was £1. You left your pound on the table as you walked in, so it was £1 a session. That's what it was like.
Fucking hell.
And I know. So fair back and going, and I just remember walking in, leaving my pound, training, and falling in love with it.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, my two mates had packed in, and then I had to go to the gym by myself. Now, I'm a 10-year-old, not very confident at the time, quite a shy kid, in all honesty, walking back into this gym where you've got people like punching and kicking and training to fight and stuff in a tough area. And I knew some of the lads who were a few years older than me training there, they were tough lads as well. And I remember walking in by myself, pretty much, very scared, putting my pants near enough, and put my pound back on the table going, I don't want to do this, don't want to do it, and then did it. Didn't look back since. That was it. And then I just stuck at it. That was it. I went twice a week, built up to 3. Then it was like 4 times a week. Then we was training.
Yeah. So you definitely caught the bug really quick then.
Oh yeah, it was just. It sounds really sad, this, Kieran, but it was probably the only thing I was ever told I was good at. So as a kid, I was never told I was good at anything, and I was always average at sports, and I was average at school. I was never good at anything. Silly, lacking in confidence. I had friends and stuff. I wasn't like a recluse, but I wasn't very confident. I was average at sports, average at school. I went to kickboxing, and I was probably average at that, but I had a coach saying to me, you did all right then. You did good. That was a good technique. Keep coming, keep trying. Well done. And it just builds this inner confidence slowly, but over time, where you start to come out of your shell, you're mingling with people, you're getting punched in the face and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the coach was like, right, Paul, you've got to take the exercises today. And I'm like, what, me? In front of a class? I'm 11 years old by this point, trying to take the warm-up exercises in front of these 20 guys. Some of them, the tough guys from where I live and stuff. I'm like, I'm shitting bricks basically, but I'm there and had to do it. That was it. But I developed my presentation skills when I was in high school and college. That developed my presentation skills for doing obviously presentations or some coursework and stuff like that. Just build that confidence.
No, definitely.
It helped because, and again, I put a lot of respect down to my coach because he said your schoolwork comes first. And I wasn't a natural academic. I was very average at schoolwork and stuff. But if I had coursework or exams, we would back off the training and let me do my studies. Okay. And that allowed me, I know it was cool really, and that allowed me to go on to do the A-levels at college and then progress through to university and stuff like that. So,
yeah. No, it's interesting how you say like about your presentation skills, because obviously people, but I've took kickboxing classes with you, and you've obviously been the instructor, and I agree what you said. You break things down, PJ, like very, very precisely and clear. Someone like me, I need to be told something, like it needs to be broke down. If you go, a 1-2 spinning back elbow, that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, right, no. But how you would say, no, position this, and then just flow that. And look, just try little things like that. I would explain it. I only trained with you a couple of times for that last fight, but yeah. So where you got it from early on then? So there's me giving a good review on it, man, definitely.
Thank you. Nice one. I appreciate it, because I've got a smile on my face. I get a little chuffy on.
Yeah.
Because I'm my own worst critic, and I always have been, and I say to people, now I know I'm a good coach, and I don't mean to be big-headed. I know I am.
You are a good coach. Be as big-headed as you want. I'm fucking telling you are a good coach, PJ. You're good at what you do.
Thank you. But I'll tell myself every day that I'm not. But you know what? I think I work differently, because if I tell myself I'm good, I'll stop getting better.
Yeah.
If I tell myself every day I'm not that good, I'll keep trying to be better. So I convince myself I'm not that good, so I over-criticise what I do. So I want to be better, so I'm constantly improving, which is good. And I think, to go back to your point about me breaking things down, I think that's me not being a natural academic. So I think I'm an average student, average academic. I'm not very clever, just the hard work and dedication I learned through training, I put into my exams. So I always think I've got to do things how I would do it, and that's very, very simplistic, very methodical, and then that's how I teach it, and it comes across in a way which I understand it.
Yeah, 150%. So we were talking about, so you started quite early on. How long was it? So you were training kickboxing first. How long was it before you started competing in kickboxing?
It was about 4 years. I trained at 10, and I think I trained for about nearly 4 years, and we entered some interclubs. But what happened, probably about 14, was quite quickly entering competitions. I was pretty unknown. I'd walk in, I had spiky hair, really skinny, dead pale, anemic looking, and then I'd weigh in and enter a competition where people thought I'd probably get my head kicked in, and then I ended up winning. And then I just got promoted really quickly through the ranks by winning these fights. And I had a competition in an interclub, and it was a really good turn-up. I had a good fight. It turns out he was fighting for a British title.
Oh shit.
So and also they put a rematch on, because it was a good fight for us. We put a rematch on, but in essence, I was like a warm-up fight for his British title. Yeah. So we had a proper fight about 3 months later, just as the way the time fell. You didn't have a 3-month camp, it was just the show was 3 months later. And that was his warm-up fight for his British title in a couple of months after. But I beat him. So it put me right in the slap bang in the pit.
Yeah,
so
deservedly. Like a recent example would be someone like an Andy Ruiz.
That's right.
Like a last minute, much skinnier. Let's be honest, much more skinnier. But yeah, so basically, last minute, not really expected to win, but you win, and then it's now what? Well, now you're going for the title now because you won. Fair is fair.
Yeah, well, it put me through to, at the time, it was all tournaments at the time for kickboxing, so it put me through to basically like the Northwest squad, if you like, whatever. So I went through to British Championships tournament, and my first fight was last year's winner.
Nothing's ever easy, is it, PJ? Nothing.
So I'm basically shitting bricks before this tournament. I was fighting. It was they called it Oriental rules. It's like K1. Basically, it's K1 competition for K1 kickboxing. And I fought him. I got sussed him really quickly with round 1. I got hit so hard here, and after the fight, both my eyes shut. After the competition, both my eyes shut. I remember driving home in the services at Burger King, getting a treat. My nose was flat, and both my eyes were shut because the guy was so powerful, man. I say guy, he was a kid. He was only probably by that time about 16 or whatever. Yeah. In this championship, so I've worked my way up since being 14 in this championship, whatever. And first round, he pinged me everywhere, but he had a tell, and he only had 2 moves. He had a good right kick and a good right hand. Yeah. So I just had to block his right kick. So I remember checking his right kick, shin blocking his right kick, and countering fast with good fast hands, coming back with my own shots, and putting him on his back foot. Didn't like it. No. Winning him, beating him. Went through the tournaments. That was the first round. 2 more fights, gold medal, come home British champion, but I said on the way home in the service, both my eyes were shut.
Fucking hell.
I know.
So obviously now, I mean, in sort of like top tier kickboxing now, like your Glory and stuff, they have the tournaments. What's your personal opinion on tournaments? Would you prefer fighting 3 men in one night or having it spaced out? Like Bellator, so you've looked at how Bellator do it. They have there, don't they? But then it's spaced out. So I might win here, and then it might be 8, 10, 9, 12 weeks before I go there. What would you prefer as a competitor?
I don't like. I fought quite a lot of like 1-day tournaments and stuff, or been away when I'm fighting the World Championships, and that's like you're there for 10 days and you fight every day for 10 days. And what I don't like about tournaments like that is you could get injured.
Yeah.
So as you go through these fights and stages, like quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, or whatever, if one of you's injured, I don't think you're getting the best of that fighter. So the winner of that day, I don't think is actually the best person.
No, definitely not.
Person. Or one of them, like one fighter could have got a bye. That means he's not had a fight for that level, for that stage, at quarter-final or whatever. He gets put through, so he's fresh. And fights someone who just fought a 3 rounds really hard fight.
Yeah.
So he's tired. So that's what I don't like. I do like the staggered tournaments.
Yeah.
I see what you've said there, like they're fighting, they might get 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever, gap, and fight again. That's fair enough because both men are fresh.
Yeah.
Both women are fresh.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's if we're gonna look at a competition, that's fair. That's fair. If I have 3 fights and knock people out in the first round and don't take any damage, and you go 3-minute rounds in all of them, how's that fair?
Yeah, and that's what I don't like about tournaments.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate.
It's been matched events.
So, obviously, when I was training with you, we were doing Muay Thai. When did you make the switch from kickboxing over to Muay Thai?
The club I trained at always trained.
Oh.
We used to train. It was actually called Merseyside Kickboxing, but we trained Thai boxing. So the people I was training with, you've got the likes of Master Ronnie Green, who did our kickboxing gradings, and he was always down our gym. He trained at a different gym, but he was down at our coach and stuff, helping out all the time. He's the grandfather of Thai boxing, 5 times world champion. Went to Thailand, beat the Thais in their own game. He's brilliant. But I was privileged enough to spend a lot of time with him when I was coming through the ranks, if you like.
Yeah, fucking hell.
It's brilliant. Good experience. And then also when I was gym, we had another 5 times world champion. Was Chris Wright, Liverpool guy. And again, we just had these really good experienced guys. I was with another guy called Tony Basnett. So I hope you all listen to this, and I'll give them a big shout out because these guys were brilliant. They used to kick the shit out of me when I was a kid. Without them, I wouldn't be as good as I was, but I did all right because of them. Tony Basnett was a 2-time European champion. They're all older than me. Chris is probably maybe 8 or 9 years older than me, and Tony Basnett's probably 4 or 5 years older. So as a kid coming up, when I was 15, they were like 21, 23 or whatever. So they were bigger, stronger. They were heavier anyway, naturally.
Yeah.
It's such a good gym, but we always train Thai boxing and stuff as well.
Oh, okay. So it's
Basic principle of the gym was that we could fight any rule. So we could fight kickboxing, Thai boxing, full contact kickboxing.
Yeah. Straight in.
Get thrown into a couple of boxing bouts and stuff like that. So.
Right. Okay. So in a sense, then you've always sort of been a fan, especially with striking, cross training. Then. Yeah,
totally. I think take a little bit from each sport and be adaptable, because you see a lot more these days because of mixed martial arts. But you'll see like the traditional Thai fighter, quite static. Very good kickers. The boxing's very average, unfortunately. They can punch, but they can't box, and there's a difference, in my opinion. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, that's the perfect. They can punch, but they can't box. Yeah. They can throw it, but if in terms of fundamentals, in staying off the centre, that's slipping. That's not happening. It's very much fucking a last minute thing.
Yeah, totally. Now it's probably because Thai boxing doesn't score at all, or it scores very low, so they don't tend to throw it full of kicks. But you've got to be able to box well in case you come against, a good kicker. You can close the range, start to use your hands, or if you was going to go over to MMA or something, you can have the ability to box as well as kicking.
Yeah.
The same like spinning kicks, the Thais and stuff. They generally won't throw crazy kicks. I know you get the cartwheel kick and stuff, which Sanchai and that throw now. But, generally speaking, it's a round kick and a front kick.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
There's no spinning hook kicks or mad axe kicks and stuff.
Yeah. All the flashy shit, it's limited to superstars. Like that's the GOAT. Senchai's the GOAT. So he can do what the fuck he wants. You have people like Raymond Daniels, all the mad spinning shit he can do. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. All these guys. It's not everyone, like you said, but there's certain people who can pull it off. So in terms of sort of modern martial arts training, how do you compare that to when you were coming up in like the 80s and 90s? Is it more of a fuck? Because I suppose everyone now with MMA and stuff is talking about CTE and getting, brain damage and stuff. Do you see it as, because from people who I've spoken to before who have trained coming up from the 80s and 90s, it was what I've been told, it's a lot harder, basically was full contact and throw you in into the grinder, basically, and iron would sharpen iron. You either float or you don't. Whereas now, I haven't been in a gym for a couple of years, but the last one I've been into is very much, that's no head hunting, very respectful, which is, I haven't got a problem with it, but it'd be interesting for someone like you, because you obviously train people now in sort of like today's standards, and you train people from back then. What's your thoughts on that and how that sort of all changed? And has it changed for the better?
Okay, I'm gonna probably give you hints into tell you what I do as a day job, which is really shocking considering what I do. But the way I used to train, and given the fact I'm currently a health and safety manager, I think health and safety would not allow the way we trained in our old gym to be allowed.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective, we would have pretty much we never trained with shin pads on. I didn't wear shin pads till I was about 19, and that was because we were we're trying to the pros training in shin pads. Look at the K1 guys in Japan and stuff like this. Is where it's all was. We used to lock the fire doors shut so it was hotter, turn the heating up, so the fire doors would change shut. No drinks allowed. You couldn't have a drink.
Oh no.
I'm not lying. I'm talking. It'd be 30, 40 degrees because it'd be roasting. No drink allowed. You're knocking the shit out of each other with bare shins, small gloves. And one of the tricks we used to have, there's two I always talk about, is one coach used to have 3 canes taped together, so you'd shin locks in swinging a cane like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
3 canes taped together like a baseball bat, and essence swing it at you, you block it or take it on the arms. So you'd be getting literally caned, you get lash marks and bruises. Oh, it's a bastard, honestly.
Yeah, fucking hell, man.
But this was normal, because I was like, well, this must be normal because everyone's doing it, so what the hell?
Yep.
That's what we did. And the other one was you had to kick a pine chair, so it was like a bit of a kitchen chair in essence, so you'd kick it over. So a bit like Kickboxer, the movie, kicking a tree.
Yeah.
A chair. In essence, but we didn't relate it to that. We were just like, I've got to kick a chair over, and your shins would be cut and bruised for weeks, and they'd let it heal, and you do it again, let it heal, do it again. Eventually, Kieran didn't feel anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you every nerve in your shin's probably fucking long dead, isn't it?
Still, it's a bit shit, but we won't be allowed to do it. You won't be allowed to do it. We used to have proper, in essence, not gym fights, but the sparring was hard, proper hard sparring. And I know people do it now. I know this gym that do MMA in Liverpool, and they're notorious with the tough sparring. But I think back then, I think most gyms were like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's softened. I think if you go back to the 90s, when I was starting off, and then also the early 2000s or whatever, there wasn't the internet. There was dial-up. You didn't have a smartphone. You had a phone that would send out 10 texts, had to delete your text messages, and it only did phone calls and text. So you couldn't just go on the internet and research a movie, like on YouTube or Google or whatever, very quickly. And the fact that, given the area, not everyone had a computer, because they were big dock-off things, dead slow and expensive.
Yeah.
And at that time, not every family had a computer. I know it sounds dead strange that now. People listening to this will be like, what are you talking about? But that was the time.
No, yeah.
It's
I agree.
Smartphones and computers. So we couldn't do the research into nutrition, training methodologies. We didn't know what everyone else was doing. If you had a fight coming up, you couldn't YouTube your fighter because you probably won't be on there because you haven't got a video of him. Do you know what I mean? If him training, whereas now you just got to search Facebook or Instagram, find the page, and you'll have 20 videos of them smashing pads and stuff.
Yeah.
Start to find them out. So I think the difference now is, then I think there was a limit of what information was available. Granted, you had books and stuff, and you did have internet access, but it was limited.
Yeah.
So it was all word of mouth and experience from others. So if somebody got it wrong before you, you'd copy them, you would be getting it wrong as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%.
But now I just think now you've got like this unlimited fountain of knowledge from the internet where you can go and research nutrition, sleep, mind psychology, sports psychology, anything like that to go, my game's getting better. Or you can watch 6 million videos of Sanchai and different people on the, Bukau and all that, like to get yourself better.
Definitely, yeah.
That wasn't available then.
No.
So you can see something on YouTube and go and take it to the gym and go, I want to try this today. Whereas then we were just trying whatever we were doing in the gym.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Well.
I agree. I mean, I've got a grapple dummy at home, and I literally go on YouTube, and I can pull up John Danaher or Gordon Ryan, any one of them, and I can watch their instructionals, and I've got a dummy, and I can work. It's not great. Obviously, you prefer a live partner, but needs must.
Yeah.
And now I can go online and I can attend a fucking Liam Harrison seminar or a Sanchai seminar online. So like you said, that must be, I don't know, I think it's kind of romantic. The old way, I would have to be, if you were going to teach me something, you'd have to literally fucking show it me. And then, right, now I know your way. So now, like you said though, but if you've got bad habits, I pick up the bad habits. So when I show the next person, yeah, whereas now, I can show you something, you're like, okay, yeah, fair enough, but I don't quite, let me have a look at this. You go away and examine it, and some other guy's got a whole fucking series on it. Next thing you know, you coming to me and you do it like, fucking hell, you're doing it better than what I've done.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
yeah. It's a big different game changer.
I think a lot more guys now are open to sharing more. I think back then it was, no, fuck you. You're in this gym. You learn what I teach you, that's it. You don't go out, you can't do anything else elsewhere. Whereas now it's open and free, innit?
Yeah, you reminded me of 2 points just to chat you through while I think about it is nowadays I think as well as 2 things, full of like health and safety would be kind of all over it, and the claim culture. So you'd have people with the kids, and I think the kids these days are wrapped in a bit of cotton wool a little bit more than what we were back then. But it would be, what do you mean my kid's just been punched in the face? It's like, well, it is a kickboxing class. Like, he's going to get hit. It's not Morris dancing.
Yeah.
I think they're more likely to complain, and they probably go away and take it to like the council or kickboxing federation or whoever it is, just to go. My kid went a kickboxing class and actually got a nosebleed and punched in the face. So I think you get a bit of that, which dilutes it. And I think you're right with the sharing side of things. Like, I think back then it was like even different martial arts. If you learn karate, it's karate, and karate's better than judo, and judo's better than boxing, and boxing's better than kickboxing or whatever. But now, because of MMA, UFC, and Bellator, all the MMA type stuff, people are learning that, shit, I need to know a bit of judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, taekwondo, Thai boxing, and blend it to be like an all-rounded fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But back then in the 90s, it was very much probably, well, I'm a grappler, and I'll take it to the floor, well, I'm a striker, and I'll knock you out.
Yeah.
Rather than going, I want to learn both, so I can be in any situation and I can set the fight where I want it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you sort of like you mentioned the UFC. Early UFC, it was the great equaliser because it purely I could be like, oh, well, I've had 400 street fights and there's no internet, so you got no way of disproving me. I've had fucking 600 judo fights, mate. Okay, well, let's find out. And that's what we did. And then you saw Hoist Great. I think out of the first 5, I think he won 4 of the fuckers. He wasn't knocking people out. He was tiny, 170.
Yeah.
170 is a tiny guy, and he just choked the motherfucker out. If you don't know what's happening, did you ever watch his fight with Art One Glove Jimison? Did you ever see that?
What was that one?
Very early UFC. So they put him in against this guy called Art Jimison, who was a boxer, and I fucking shit you not.
Did he wear one glove?
One glove.
That's the one. Silly.
Gracie won the fight because he mounted him. That was it. He didn't throw any strikes. He didn't put a submission in, but he mounted him. That boxer didn't know what the fuck to do.
Panic.
Tapped.
No way.
So Gracie was like, what are you doing? I haven't touched you. I'm just sat on top of you. But that foreign concept of another grown man who's literally straddling my chest, and you're like, nah, I've had enough of that.
It's sad, isn't it? Like, in one sense, because a boxer back then would believe that he's the ultimate kind of fighter, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I'll just knock you out. I can punch you in the face, knock you out. And it might work. The odd time I go outside a chippy or a nightclub or something where he hits first and lands it. But unfortunately, if it goes past them first few punches outside in self-defence perspective, and it starts to grapple, then that's when you got to learn how to do judo, wrestling, or jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So
I tell people, like, I know people that have never had martial arts training or whatever, but like the UFC, and they're always trying to have a fucking fight with people and this, that, and they're like, listen, you don't know who that person is and what they can do. If you, let's take, just going off appearance, if you look at Khabib Nurmagomedov, just at appearance, you don't know anything about him, he looks like he lives in the mountains and he farms goats. However, if I put him in a cage with mixed martial arts rules, he will fucking put you into the ground. He'll put any one of you in the ground at that weight.
Imagine him kicking off in any city, like, you know, if you didn't know who he was, but he was still lethally trained. He goes out in jeans and a t-shirt because he's not the most. He is athletic, obviously. He's quite muscular, but he's not the most athletic. He's not like you know.
Paulo Costa. Look at Paulo. He's ballooned up. He's got fucking muscles on the muscles, traps on the trap. You know, that boy's on all the Mexican supplements.
He's every day. Yeah.
Look at that guy, juicy as a motherfucker, and then Khabib.
Yeah.
But that guy would kill you, like, no question, no dramas.
The scary thing is it's a realistic. That's people might laugh at that comment, say he'll kill you, but he actually could, couldn't he?
Yeah.
He puts a choke on, and he holds it on for 30 seconds. You go.
Yeah, that's the only thing is with MMA or jiu-jitsu, there's rules, but let's break it down. If you get me in a rear naked choke, right, I tap, you let me go, you win, no problem. Yeah. But if that isn't a licensed fight and you get me in the choke and you connect your hands, and why would you let go? If you don't let go, I die.
Yeah.
So really, in an MMA fight, if you tap to a strangle, essentially that's admitting that you killed me.
You're dead, 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
That's it. I think that was the. I don't know. I might have read this wrong, but I read somewhere that was like the original thing. That was the ethos of martial arts. Was like that. You tap for different martial arts to get off, but it was almost admitting defeat. As in, if that would have gone any further, I could have died. Yeah. And that's why you would tap.
Yeah.
So,
I've only ever been choked out once, and I just remembered it then. It wasn't that bad. I'd prefer to get choked out than knocked out. I didn't like getting knocked out. That wasn't great.
I've been dropped. I got dropped in the competition. They thought I was a slip, madly.
Oh, okay.
I got a drop. Yeah, I was fighting in Greece. I know I'm going to go on a tangent a bit, but I was fighting in Greece. It was a full contact kickboxing competition. And this guy, man, he was ripped. He'd be juiced up as well, but he was so muscular the way. And I was like, probably 17, 18 I was probably. And he was probably like 23, 24, so a bit older, but I was used to fighting older guys in the gym. Do you mean? So I wasn't that fussed, and we were just basically having a not a laugh, but we were just going for experience, but it's a world championships. And it's a Russian guy, gets in, like he hit me everywhere in round one. And I remember I had a broken nose from a previous fight in the same tournament, so I'm sure we paid the doctor off or something to get through, but we got through it anyway. So this is how it was, man.
Hey, you want to be a fighter, you do what you have to do.
It's not that massively regulated, but I remember getting punched and the pain rattling around my head, like a jab, bang, like a migraine, bang, straight away. And I remember, like, after, like I said, 2 minutes in or whatever, and getting hit, I remember bouncing off the ropes, just praying. This sounds really bad, just praying. This is different. Sorry, I've digressed. I'll tell you this, but anyway, I remember getting hit, and the pain was that bad, I'd come off the rope, and I remember praying, going, just fucking knock me out, I've had enough. And I remember getting hit clean, boom, but still being able to fight. I was like, you soft fuck, I'll give up. I'd give up, and he couldn't finish me off, and he made me fight hard.
Right.
And I fought back so hard, and I think I won round 2 and 3, but I didn't get the decision. So it's a close fight, I didn't get it. What happened was, the knockdown, which was a slip, I think may have edged it, but it was a knockdown. And part of the round was, I was fighting, and then I remember just I don't remember getting hit, I just remember being on my knees. So I must have been went in the trenches with him. I thought, fuck it, get inside, trenches, bang, 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 punching kicks, bang, 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 getting hit a few times, bang, bang, bang. Next thing, I'm on one knee looking up, looking at my corner, because you look at your corner, so they wave you up, because you can't hear. So everything's muffled, so I've been pinged proper. It's all muffled, looking at my corner to wave me up. Like an 8 or 7 or 8, like, come on, and they look at me going, get up, it's a slip. Like, the ref wants dry your gloves, and I'm like, slip. I remember getting up thinking, gloves. I'm thinking, he's not giving me count. He hasn't counted me. And I was just like tired, and then when I survived, like the round and stuff. Then as part of that first round was me getting finished off. So then I fought second round. I fought back so hard the second round and third round. I just think I got intimidated by his appearance in the first round and shit bricks.
Yeah.
I was a young lad, you see. It's such a good experience, like. Sorry to diverse a little bit.
No, it's an interesting point. So as you got older and competing, Pete, did you ever have that fear again of like, just because I'll take for me, you've coached me, so you know I get nervous as fuck in a fight. I know I'm very capable. I'm a big fucking guy, and if I kick you, you'll feel it. I know I'm capable, but I always shit myself, and I know what they always tell you. I need you to tell me what I'm doing. I need you to foot, and you're like, right, okay, no, I need it, bro, because I always get nervous. And a lot of it is, for me, because I'm quite short and stuff, it is appearance, even though I look like a bit of a rough cunt. But for me, it's always stayed there. Is that the same with you, or were you able to let go of it?
No, I think nerves are natural. I think nerves are needed. It's how you control that fear. Don't let it take over. Like, you know what I mean? Don't let it put too much energy. But I think it's needed. But the one thing I did learn is, because what I learned through martial arts was you can't judge how people look. So you could see a guy who, I have a Clark Kent theory, like with stuff. People have said I'm like a Clark Kent. What I mean is, like, you could see someone who looks like an IT geek, or me, I'm a health and safety geek. I wear a clipboard, I'm a shirt tie guy. And I had loads of people come to a kickboxing class that I'm teaching who've seen me in work, and then they're literally looking at me like they're stunned, going, "Can't believe you can do what you do, because I see you in the daytime." It's just fucking insane, like what you can do. And they buzz off it. They seem the after work, like, "Are you the same guy who was taking a class sparring and kicking people in the head last night?" I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It's just head blow.
Yeah, you've got a family, you've got to pay the bills, you know. Who do you think? You know, you got.
Yeah, and obviously, unfortunately, I think Thai boxing, kickboxing stuff, it just doesn't pay the money. Like,
no.
There's some good. If you get into Bellator, you might make a bit of glory or something. You know, one championship, you might be alright. But especially that's for now. But in the past, that wasn't there. Like, I mean, you're literally working a job, or doing loads of PT work, or doing the doors or something like that, and training twice a day to try and make it work. But to go back to your nerves thing, I think it's the other way around. Like, you know, just because someone's muscly and looks the part doesn't mean they can handle themselves.
Yeah.
So that was always in the back of my brain of going, in a competition, fucking hell, he looks well hard. He looks well hard. Doesn't mean he is well hard.
Yeah.
And that's all I used to tell myself. Well, we're having a fight. At the end of the day, we're going to fight regardless of if I think he's good or not. We're going to fight. So I'm going to wait till that fight to find out. That's it. I will still be nervous, but I'll be going, right, this is energy, I'm using it. I can fuel up eating good food and stuff like that to feel good, feel strong, stay positive. But I'm just going to test him. We're going to find out. And I've used that in everyday life and stuff, even situations who, you know, if you've been outside or whatever, and someone's going, "Oh, he's such an hard guy and all, whatever, and all, he's going to do this and that," and I'm going to find out. Just going to find out.
Yeah.
There's no point talking about it and gobbing off. You're going to find out, aren't you?
No, definitely. No, it's always interesting because I didn't do a quarter of the things that you did with your fighting career, but even when I would, like you said, the fear thing for me, it was always a big thing. But like, it's sink or swim. Like the last time so for people to give you a bit of background, I met PJ back in early 2012. I'd competed a bit before all that, and I'd stopped for a couple of years and just let depression and bad eating and shit get to me. So anyway, I walk into this gym and crew, UMA crew, Ultimate Martial Arts crew. The coach there, Aaron Jones, he's basically running a white-collar Thai boxing program. I go in and meet Aaron, have a chat with him, and at the time, you were there. You were doing your class, and I'd just sort of seen Aaron afterwards. And I remember your class, I was looking, and I was like, fucking hell, there's like 30 people in there. Fair enough. So anyway, so I signed up for the course. I did the first course with Aaron. You weren't involved in the first one much, I don't think. So I went through that course, won that fight, got the buzz back a bit, and then I kept training. Then at that point, that's when I started training with you, coming to your classes. And then eventually, I figure, so again, this is all early 2012, so then I figure, right, I've already competed once more, fuck it, we'll do one more. But I asked the coach this time, like, I don't really want to fight anyone from the class, I want to fight someone else. from the gym, from a different gym. Aaron, yeah, no problem. We'll get you someone. No problem. Let's do it. So we're getting closer to the fight. I'm training with you, and then Aaron comes, I think it was a week before the fight, he goes, right, we've got you someone. He is your weight and he's your height. And I was like, fucking hell, that's rare. Because I'm a big guy, but I'm 5'6". I should be fighting Demetrius Johnson. That's who I should be fighting in my... If you go off your height, if I was, put the burgers down and shit, that's who I should be fighting, just to give you context. So, yeah, no worries. I'm all up for it. I'm fighting a guy my height, 5'6". No fucking drama. Let's go. Fight day. So, Team UMA, yourself, Aaron, all the fighters, we're all there, chilling. Where's my guy? I haven't seen anyone. Oh, don't worry about it. Okay. 20 minutes before the show starts, Aaron comes up. Problem. The guy you were going to fight couldn't make it. Oh, really? Yeah, but I can get you a fight. This is where I fuck up. No problem, I'll fight them. No problem. Well, no, Aaron, I'll fight them. We've trained, I've lost all this weight. I've got myself down under 100 kilo, which was good for me. I said, I'm fighting. I don't give a fuck. And I remember saying to him, I don't give a fuck who it is. I want to fight them. Oh boy, did I regret that. So...
Man, I'm smiling my head off right now. I remember this whole day like I supposed to.
Fucking hell. So, 3 minutes later, Timur shows up. Who's Timur? Timur's are probably 6'4". Yeah, he's tall. Something like that, over 6 foot.
Easy over 6 foot.
Easily over 6 foot. Easily over 300 pounds, so probably 100 pound heavier than me. And Aaron goes, this is who you fighting. I'm like, are you joking? No. This is who they bought. He's from the same gym as the guy you were going to fight. But yeah, fight. If you want to fight, you can fight him. Now I've already mouthed off. Yeah, I'll take the fight. So I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, right, yeah, I guess we're fighting him then. And then luckily, you and Scotty agreed to be in my corner. Because I'm like, I need fucking help here, boys. Straight away, shitting myself. I'm going to post a picture. There's a really good one of me and you and me slapping gloves before the round starts. And I just look terrified. But yeah, so we get in the ring. And I listened to fucking everything you told me to do. And not only did we survive, we fucking won. And we won very easily. What we didn't know about that guy was that he'd been knocked out the weekend before. So he was very gun shy. So you told me that. And you said, if you throw an overhand right and it lands, he'll fucking stop and he won't do anything to you. Just trust me. And I did it. And after we hit him, he didn't want to fucking know. But he kept then. Do you remember that? Like, he would put me in the corner because he'd get hold of me, and he put me. Remember when he fucking hammered me on the back of the head?
Yeah. Like a big bird ball.
Yeah, just like I was nothing. He just ragdolled me. Then he just went, and everyone's like, "Oh, you can't do that." Back. I'm there laughing. So I'm like, I'm fucking listen. If I survive 45 more seconds, the top's coming off. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Even out of ideas, mate. That's what happened with him. Even out of ideas.
Yeah.
Because I remember setting up. I remember us setting up the overhand with a low kick. So it was like smash the low kick in, brings his guard down a bit, brings his head down just a few inches off the low kick, and then bang on the top of the right hand. Boom! And when it went in, it landed. His fucking eyes were just like shit. There's like a rabbit in a headlight. Yeah. And we did it 2 or 3 times more, and that was it. We just had to top it up, then top the left kick up, top the overhand right up, game over. And that fight, you won that fight convincingly. Yeah, there was no even after because I'm very critical of shit. But even afterwards, like I said, you know who I knew I won because my t-shirt come off straight away. The tits don't care. I'd won. I took my gloves off. I was like, "Someone get me a beer." I literally, bro, I just won the UFC belt. Couldn't believe it. Tremendous. But yeah, that was July 2012. That was last time I decided to get in there and mix it up and compete. So nearly 10 years, mate. What was going on? Time's flying, man. They were good times then.
Definitely, those first couple of white collar Thai boxing classes we had on with Aaron, fucking tremendous, great lads as well, really good crew. So
I'm still in touch with him. He's got a cracking running gym now, like give him a shout out and stuff. Like I was in Crewe, like, if you want to check out like Ultimate Martial Arts in Crewe, he's next to the Big Asda. I don't know the address, but it's the Big Asda in Crewe.
Yeah, I've been down. Yeah, I'll definitely be tagging Aaron in his gym. So if you are in the Crewe or Stoke area, and if you are looking for really, really good Thai boxing and kickboxing coaching, you can't go wrong with Aaron and all his guys over at UMA Crewe.
He's got a good gym, good setup.
Yeah, really good, really good. He's doing tremendous things with his kids, like his kids squad as well, like winning nationals, worlds. You know, phenomenal gym. He's a really good guy as well. Family guy. You know, salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Salt of the earth.
He is, he's good. I've got a lot of time for him.
So in terms of, we talked about like MMA and self-defense and stuff like that. How did you end up training at the team that you're training now?
I currently coach at Team Cabon, or some people pronounce it Team Carbon. They got quite a notorious gym in Liverpool with the UFC fighters. You got like Darren Till, Mike Grundy, Tom Aspinall. They all fight in the UFC. What happened was I got a job in Wigan, again doing health and safety during the day, and there's a gym over the road. Didn't know it was Team Cabon, just in a weights gym. The Team Cabon in Wigan is above the gym, but there wasn't really that well signposted like that. And I happened to see a post on Facebook from Mike Grundy saying wanted head of Thai boxing for a gym in Wigan. I was just like, all right, well I've moved to Wigan, not moved, but I'm in Wigan working a lot. I wasn't coaching there because I couldn't get down to Crewe and stuff, so I had like maybe a year off coaching. I thought I need to get back into it. Seen this, went and spoke to Mike Grundy. Basically, I said, Mike, like, I've got like no references as such or whatever, like, but listen, here's some names, and I fired off some names he could speak to. One of them he knew because he trained at Cabon Liverpool.
Right.
And there was like 3 or 4 names on the list who currently still fight, like, and he just contacted them, and they would just give me like a glowing reference.
Yeah.
Good guy, knows his stuff or whatever. And then I did a trial session, just started teaching in Wigan, but it was a new class, he had nothing. And then I think we joke saying about like £5 PTs, it's a £5 session. And I remember lads turning up and there were like 1 or 2 lads in the class. So they joke now saying, oh, I missed my £5 PTs because like one person being in the class. Because now I've got like 25, 30 guys turning up. It's just boomed, and get some good feedback as well. But again, that's in Wigan, so if anyone's in Wigan and wants to do any stand-up for the MMA or whatever, come down to Team Cabon Wigan, they're like on Swan Meadow Road.
Yeah, so. Definitely. I mean, if you're following MMA, you fucking know how big of a star Darren Till is. This is a gym that's directly affiliated with that guy, so you really can't go wrong. I mean, if you want to get into like the minute details, obviously the gym's great, but if you're a fucking fanboy, it's linked to Darren Till. What more do you want me to say? Much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got my mate PJ there, you've got all these other people there, but you know what I mean? It's, yeah. I mean, in terms of like big MMA gyms now, is it fair to say that's probably the biggest?
I think it's certainly getting there. I think it's the most famous one in the UK, because of like likes of Till and Grundy and that's
fucking.
But it's just performance, like whatever ingredients get put into them fighters in Liverpool, like it must work because there's like 9 UFC fighters out of that gym, plus there's other Bellator, Cage Warriors, all this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, a lot of people think that just because there's UFC guys there, there's only no. There's PFL guys. There's There's Bellator. There's killers fucking everywhere. It's not just the UFC.
It's got an old school feel to it, so it takes me back to like in the 90s because it's like old school sparring, effing's hard sparring, you're getting beaten up, you're going to come away with some injuries. And I don't necessarily, my mindset's changed slightly on that type of training because I think you need some technical and some scientific stuff thrown in. Not every day needs to be a hard day, but you do need it. You do need it quite regularly as well. But I think you need a lot of like tech sparring and play sparring like they do in Thailand.
I was going to ask with you, like, what would you prefer? Because I've done a bit of both. I think I get better if I do a Thai style spar. Yeah. Me, I know it's different for everyone, but me personally, if I'm trying to work on something, I want to do a Thai style spar. I want to play about it.
Here's my theory on it, and this might be a bit shit, but it's worked, is you need to get accurate with your shots. So you need to pull the power and land the accuracy. Then get a little bit quicker at landing that accurate shot so it lands clean, scores, it lands clean, likely to do damage, like to knock someone out, whatever. Then you can turn the power up. But what happens if you don't do that? So that's like a technical sparring. You do that for round and round and round, and then you go into hard sparring once you perfect that. But if you just start off hard sparring, milling, swinging windmills in at full blast, chances are you're going to miss a lot of shots. You're never going to tune it in. It's a difference between trying to, like, I don't know, throw an hand grenade in a fight or be a sniper and just take one shot, bang, kill, done.
Yeah.
That's the difference, in essence. So I prefer to do a lot more technical sparring and then start to step up to the hard sparring. Whereas when I was a kid, it was very much everything was a hard sparring.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
I don't think he was wrong because it's proved to say both work. My preference now is do a bit more technical sparring. Plus, you've got to build confidence. Or somebody coming in new to a gym, if you knock the head off and hurt them day one, they won't come back. So you've kind of got to tease them in and slowly introduce them to contact and harder contact and then full-blown sparring. Yeah. So
no, I completely agree. That's one thing you could always say at UMA. That was exactly how it was. I never got made to spar or any. It was always, if you want to, these don't fucking go over, don't go off your head. Go at like 70%. Go at your own pace. It was never sort of no, you need to do it. I think it's the best way. Like you said, also with like the enticing thing. For the kind of guy I am, I want to be enticed. If I've gone down to the gym and I want to check things out, yeah, I'm going to potentially be a paying customer, but it works both ways. Why am I going to pay you?
Yeah.
And I think, is it like most places, you go into the gym now, a lot of it is aesthetic. It's, oh, fucking hell, they've got this. Nowadays, it's more, if you've got the money behind you and you can get all these machines in, oh, yeah, that's where everyone will go. Whereas 100%. It's the place like Aaron's gym. When it was a couple of years ago, not now, when it was the old place, it was a tiny sign. You wouldn't know what that was unless you fucking walked in there. I prefer it like that. As much as it's good having the big signs and welcome to Team X and yeah, man, that's sick. But for me, like, because I'm a bit closer to your age, I prefer it like that.
Yeah, I'm like that. I want a gym where I need a gym where you're not scared to sweat, hard work. Like you walk in and it's a bit. Not dirty, but it's a bit old school, a bit rugged.
Yeah, grimy. Fuck it, that's how it is. Like, we're in there working out and we're all in there sweating our fucking balls off. It's not going to be clean.
Yeah, you don't need it nice and... You don't want a gym where I was walking in taking selfies and shit like that. Like, no, I know that's got its place, but I'm going to the gym. I'm the worst person to train with as well. Like, I'm a moody bastard when I train. Like, I'm nice in the gym, like, but I want to be in my zone. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to... I do talk, but... I just want to do my thing. I want to get in and get back to do my training and do whatever else and learn and help other people. But I don't like it to use as a social event.
Yeah.
The only talking you're going to get off me is right, pass me gloves. And that's
it.
And that's it.
Put more weight on.
Yeah, it is. Like if I'm training the weights, I'm the same. I'm a moody set. I don't talk. Like my wife thinks my training with anyone like who I hang around with, whatever, is like a social event sometimes. Well, she knows, but it's how she kind of sees it.
Yeah.
But when I'm with my mate, I could be with my best mate Jeff on the weights, and I won't say anything other than I'd take weight off, one more rep.
Yeah.
Right, next exercise, and that's it. And after the gym, when we've had a shake or whatever and stuff, then we go, anyway, how are you doing? You alright? How's work? And that's it. But in training, I've got 45 minutes an hour of just in the zone.
Yeah.
I've got one job, and that's it.
Cool. So in terms of you coaching that, are you trying to build up like a fight team yourself, or is it just purely you just coaching guys that are coming in for the lessons?
It's a mix, but I've actually started to develop a little squad, but they're all brand new. They're all novice, but I've got some good novices coming through, so it's that very delicate stage of maintaining the confidence, getting them experience. So I want them to do some sparring at the gym, some talking with Aaron to go down to his gym for sparring.
Yeah.
But it's very delicate because I could take them to a gym, and then the gym I go to could like start to take advantage. They don't like the fact we've turned up, or they think we're the really hard sparring and basically a fight. And they may have had more experience, well they definitely have because they've had like 10 fights or title fights and stuff. They could kick the shit out of my lads because they're novice, and then none of them come back training. Whereas what I wanted to go have a spar where it's a good hard spar, and the people are against only one step ahead, but developing them because it makes them better fighters.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, it's about this. I'm not into gym politics and shit like that because I just think it should be about the sport. So let's stop the politics of our gym's better than yours, or you're from Wigan or St Helens or Crewe or whatever, rival postcodes and shit. When it's just like we're all in this sport to coach people, make people better, get people fitter, help with any issues they're going through. This is why I like sport. Any issues you're going through, like day to day, argument with the missus, your dog's died, you're up to eyeballs in debt, you've lost your job or whatever. You go to the gym for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. You don't have to think about that. You can switch off. You're with a team of people who want you to be better.
Yeah, that's definitely, man.
Sports, like, I don't see any. The other thing I love, diverting slightly, whatever it is, on the mats, in the ring, whatever you want to call it, in the gym, basically, martial art gym. This is. I've never seen any sexism or racism or social class differences. I don't care where you're from.
Nope.
Don't care if you're a millionaire or if you're on the dole. Don't care what colour you are. Don't care where you're from or whatever. I do care. Like, I want to know about you.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't. You're just here. If you turn up, you train hard, you listen to coach, you be respectful, you help others, and you're part of the team. It just literally doesn't bother me. Man, woman, whatever, not bothered.
Yeah. Well, you'll know this more than me, man. Like, you see dudes who turn up to gyms who've got all the branded gear, all the sandy, all this, all the yokkao, and they're fucking garbage because they've watched UFC about 8 times and think they're going to do it. But the guy who comes in and borrows the club's pads or whatever because he's struggling, because he's fucking there and putting the work, he'll slap the shit out of you all day, every day.
Yeah, give me a grafter. I always say, like, give me a student who has the intention to train hard. Might have the ability, he might not have anything given to him, he's not got the funding behind him, but he'll put a shift in every day.
Definitely, yeah. That's one of the. That's why I wanted to train again when I was with Aaron, because it was like you'll know this. I used to gas out all the time with shit, but I wouldn't stop though. I'm dead, but I still do the class. But you have to be realistic. If you're fat and slobby like me, if someone like you's fucking beasting me and telling me to run, like, how dare you? Number one, you're telling me to fucking run, and then I'm. You know, all I wanted to do was pad work. That's all I give a shit about. Let's teach me a combo.
One more round.
Yeah, or one more. I'm like, fuck off, you've had 9. No, one more. Evens numbers. Nah, man.
Yeah, that's not my god.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is one of the things like, I always talk about improving myself, and in some things I do. One of the major things I could very easily do is get myself into a gym. I don't know why, mate. It's just, there's something there. There's a wall. I don't know what it is. I've been wanting to get back for a while now, but I just haven't. Don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. Who knows? But I miss it.
Yeah, I think I'm hooked on the sport. I think the sport will always pull me back in. You know, I take a lot of time away from my family to coach, and it hurts because I've got a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I've got a wife, so it is hard because I'm trying to find other nights to train. So 6 nights a week I'm doing something away from the family because I'm either trying to train or trying to coach or whatever. So I've got a very understanding wife, but it takes a lot of time for the family. But I don't think I can leave the sport. Like, I owe a lot to the sport. Like I said, it helped me as a kid. I was an average kid doing average things, and I would have ended up over the park drinking and taking drugs probably with a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm not dissing that because a lot of my friends have done well not on the back of that, they've done well in later life, like, but I've just been one of them kids, and because I didn't have confidence, I probably just ended up doing a very, very average job. But I'm not saying my job now is brilliant, but I've got the ability to coach and stand in front of people and talk and pass things over.
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed. It sounds really soft, but blessed because I can help to change people a little bit.
It's not soft. It's not soft at all, PJ. But this is the thing. Like, you feel like you have to say that. That's the thing, in it now. It's not soft at all. When did it become wrong for some, like, make a statement like that where you just want to help people?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I still feel like it's a bit soft. Maybe it's just where I am. I think you've got to be tough, got to be hard all the time. But, mate, the fact I can give, and I genuinely mean this, the fact I can give someone an hour away from the stresses of a job, if they have a high pressure job or whatever, and I can say, come in the gym and don't think about it for an hour.
Yep.
Don't even think about it. Can't think about that when you get a punch in the face, mate.
No way. Nobody is thinking about some dickhead manager in their ear if I'm trying to fucking kick your head off. Like, what spreadsheet? If you're slipping some spreadsheet, no, mate, you're getting knocked the fuck out.
Exactly, and that's why I love it, and that's why I probably can't stop, because I know somebody somewhere needs my help.
Yeah.
And they might just happen to walk in my gym and go, fucking hell, I've been looking for this for the rest of my whole life. Like I was the kid who walked into the youth club, the youth centre, and paid £1, and it changed my life forever.
Yeah.
Confidence-wise, dedication-wise, don't give in. So when I was doing my degree, I wasn't a good academic, but I just used to fail an exam and resit it because my coach would say, "How would you do it if he was fighting?" I said, "Well, I might lose the fight and I might go back to the gym and train, have a rematch, and I'd do the same with the exams."
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't put enough on that guy, the gym and the coach owner relationship. So like you said, it's not monetary they're investing in you, it's time and it's just words. It's planting a virus is a bad term, but planting like a good virus in your head. And like you said, it's applied then to your life, your professional life. You're much more confident now. So like you said, you do health and safety. I know we're doing security, health and safety guys, not that popular. However, it is a very important job and it has to be done. And ultimately, someone who's involved in that health and safety, you are protecting people, you are stopping things before they happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, if it's led you to where you are now, so you've been doing, as long as I've known you, you've been doing basically a similar job. So you're obviously very good at what you do.
Yeah. It's mad how I've gone into two professions, which is helping people. Like my day job helps people in a roundabout way, like you just said. And coaching helps people, so I must be attracted to that type of industry. If I'm helping give it something back, see the worth. I think I love it. So,
have you thought about like with how easy it is sort of to get stuff online now? Have you ever thought about like doing breakdowns of fights, predictions?
Do you know what? I'd love to. That's part of my thing. I think I've got, and I'm going to be big-headed for a little bit. I think I've got a really good fight IQ.
You have.
So I can watch a fight. And break it down and break fighters down quite well. You know, there's a bit better people than me, but I think I'm quite good at it. And I'd love to do it, see the predictions come true. Like I remember predicting like the Andy Ruiz fight, going, "Fuck, I've seen this guy bang if he hates Joshua, he's going out." And it happened, and I was just like, "Shit!" Like I knew I said it, but I didn't tell enough people that was what I thought. Because people were just, you would say that now, but if I'd have broke it down before the fight, it happened.
Yeah, bro, I said the exact same thing about the Holly Holm Ronda Rousey fight in Australia. I told all my boys, she's getting knocked out. You don't know who Holly Holm is, she's getting knocked out. There's no fucking way. And then but it's like if I'd have put money on it. If I'd have put $1,000.
Same with like breaking down fight styles and stuff, because I'm one for like blending a lot of styles. I don't actually get a third bit. I've been criticised for my style of teaching with Thai boxing because it's not strictly Thai boxing.
We're not in. My response to that is we're not in Thailand. What's the big thing? We're not in. I'm sorry, but we're not in Thailand.
I do a lot of Western style boxing. I've got a tighter guard. I throw in some spinning kicks, which they do in Thai boxing, obviously, but I do throw them in and people go, "Well, that's technically a Taekwondo kick," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, if I kick your head off with it and it works."
Yeah, it's not illegal, so.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your problem? Yeah, I don't understand. I'm all for people being purists and that. I understand that, but closed-minded isn't. I don't know, especially in like martial arts, it just doesn't serve you well. You have to be open to it. Like we said about Gracie, nobody really took the ground seriously until they came along. Nobody would have blinked twice at them before they came along. And now you look at jiu-jitsu, you look at like Gracie academies. There's probably Gracie academies up near you. There's some down here.
Yeah, it's massive. And they've all made millions and millions of dollars. Cool.
I wouldn't even want to quantify, mate. It's insane. If you can get a chain, if you've got a good name as well like that, and you get the Gracie Barrett and you can get it rolling, fucking hell, man. Woo!
Sound.
Big money.
Quality.
Right, mate, well, we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
So I always say, like with the podcast, it's basically free shout out. So anyone you want to shout out, anything you want to plug, the floor is yours.
Lovely. Just a quick one for me. Obviously, we've mentioned Uma and Aaron Jones down there and crew. Give him a shout out. Get a look into him. For me, it's my class in Wigan. So it's Team Come On in Wigan off Swan Meadow Road. It's above Elite Fitness Factory, a very good gym as well. Feel free if you're in the Wigan area, St Helens area, Greater Manchester, you want to come down for Thai boxing or help your MMA striking, give me a shout. Holler at your boy. Check my Instagram out or Facebook. It's basically PJ Middlehurst, and you'll find it. I'll be there. And just give me a message, give me a DM, and let me know. Check it out, and I've looked at some videos, me kicking a dummy. My guy's called Bob, but made Bob famous now.
Yeah, man, big time.
Yeah, check it out.
Perfect. Yeah, well, we'll link all your personal pages. I'll tag Aaron's gym and I'll tag your gym as well. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. This was a really good chat, and I have a feeling we'll see you again.
Yeah, think so. There's a million things I could chat about and I could really go into it, so I'd love to be back on and we'll do it again.
Absolutely, mate. Right, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Enjoy your weekends, stay safe, and stay fucking hard. We out.